Hello everyone, I'm your Niko and no, no. I am not going to do that. Have a nice day, I'm done.
If I risk it all, could you break my fall?
Okay, just for Bob. So, we are looking at rip-offs from famous animated movies, huh? Ratatoing, a rip-off of Ratatouille, The Frog Prince, a rip-off of The Princess and the Frog, and Clariformers, a rip-off of Transformers. Whoopee! These movies were made by Brazil animated studio called Video Brinquedo, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. To make these rip-offs for what else? Money. Okay, I think I waste enough time. Let's have a look at the first one called Ratatoing. And surprisingly enough, it sucks. Okay, this movie wasted no time to piss me off. First of all, the title, Ratatoing. Of all the names you can come up with and choose, you choose this? Is that even a real thing? I mean, come on, I can come up with a better name than this. And you're basically asking for trouble. Okay, enough of that. What's the story of this movie? Well, if the title doesn't give it away, it's about a rat that has a restaurant called Ratatoing, who made delicious food for his customers, but when he's out of resources, he goes at night with his friends to steal fresh food from a human kitchen. But one night, one of the customers who has a restaurant also, they discover his secret and they try to cut off his resources. And after that, shenanigans. And that's pretty much it. Okay, let's have a look at the good stuff. Actually, what good stuff? This movie doesn't have anything good. Well, if I cannot think good things about this movie, let's have a look the bad, which is a lot. First, let's discuss the big elephant in the room, the animation. What can I say about the animation? It's god-awful. All the characters look exactly the same, and the movements of the characters are awkward and creepy. The backgrounds look shit, but the absolute worst one is the mouth animation. It's like they didn't even bother to make this animation good, which actually explains a lot. Also, when you're going to compare the CGI animation with cartoons like Bad Ugly Martians and the Donkey Kong cartoon, that the animators of the shows did a much better job than the animators of the movies, that's pretty lame. The writing is absolutely atrocious, and combined with the god-awful mouth animation, it makes it even worse. The editing is also absolutely atrocious. There are scenes go for way too long, especially from the beginning, when the first 10 minutes it's about the customers talk about how good the food is. There are also some jump cuts, and it looks like the editing was made by people who don't know about editing. And the voice acting is absolute shit. I mean, listen to some of these voices.
Oh, I must say that smells delicious.
Did you have any doubts, sir?
There's no doubt about that here. Their food is always guaranteed to be delicious. We came from a great distance because everyone we heard from said the food is great at Ratatoing.
Boy, that's the truth. It was my second cousin Vinny who told me about this great restaurant.
I can do better voice work than these guys. The story was not executed well, and there are some plot holes. The characters, especially the main one, they are not interesting and they are very dull. And the ending, it was nonsensical and it was mean-spirited.
Precisely.
That's all I have to say about this movie. Now, let's have a look. The Frog Prince. Wow, I think this one is even worse. Okay, before I tell about this movie, let's have a look at the good things. The character designs are decent, for my opinion, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is shit. So, what's the story of this movie? It's about a princess who tries to find the perfect man, but she rejects every single male he sees. If the princess doesn't find a fiancé soon, her kingdom will not have a king after his father passed away. And in all this mess, the prince, as a frog, who tries to help her and earn her trust to kiss him to become a human again, but ended up to make things worse. By the end, all of this was fixed. The story is stupid and nonsensical, and only by the end is faithful to the source material. The writing is absolute atrocious, the voice acting is pathetic, and they sound like they reading from a script, and they sound bored, and they do not care.
Oh, this is an outrage! How dare you disrespect the heir to the throne of Zambuya! I'm sure your father didn't suggest we walk just so you could laugh at me. I've never been so offended by anyone in my life. Princess, I hope you have a nice day, but this date ends here.
The editing is bad, and the animation is bad, to the blank backgrounds, to the lazy and awkward movements of the characters. But the absolute worst thing about this movie is the characters. Every single one of them is either unlikable, stupid, annoying, or all of the above. The king is a moron.
The result was a mess, with that whole kingdom ending up underwater. Wow, like you, that king thought it was just a silly superstition.
That's quite a story. What was the name of that kingdom?
I don't remember. I just know the story. The story is the important point.
The prince is an asshole, but the one who takes the cake is the princess. She's incredibly unlikable, incredibly stupid, and a huge whiny bitch. He acts like a bitch to everyone.
Now, how about a nice little kiss for me, my dear?
That's a good one. Give you a kiss. Me kissing a frog. Imagine that. A kiss. Good one. You're funny. Imagine that. That's so silly. You really want a kiss from me?
She doesn't think of her actions.
Please. I'd like to be able to eat lunch.
I know, my daughter, but you don't have any options left. Because you've turned down every prince from all the kingdoms in this part of the world.
Get serious, Father. Who could imagine my marrying that piece of work?
The seriousness of the moment is at hand. I will summon him so that you may talk to him outside the palace and fulfill the oracle's command.
No, Father, please, don't do that. I'll marry anyone else but him.
It's too late for that now, Iria. You should have thought of that before you turned away all the other fine young men who came to court you.
He's a spoiled brat.
Oh, then what?
Why did you turn away Prince Zumbo? He's the 5th eligible bachelor you turned down this month.
Oh, Father, I just didn't like him. Was I supposed to like him? 'Cause I thought he was kind of weird.
But Iria, you've said the same thing about all of them.
I can only tell you my heart, Father. I just didn't like him. And besides, he was very unattractive.
Unattractive? To my eyes, he actually looked like a movie star.
Father, at best he was normal looking and not different from the others. Of course not, Father, but without even knowing the Zin Guin Dung guy, it sounds like you're saying I have to marry him.
Iria, if you hadn't wasted so much time trying to choose the ideal prince, you wouldn't be in this situation.
But Father, we both think that spirit of nature thing might just be some kind of prank by some goofy kids. The whole idea of having to marry whoever happens to talk to me is ridiculous.
She calls people ugly.
Wow, what a beautiful shell. But there's really nothing special about it. You're a frog, and frogs are disgusting. Are you kidding? You mean that short, dumpy old man?
Yes, that's the one.
But Father, he is a boring, clumsy old man who has horribly bad breath. Other than that, he's quite a treat.
And she never makes up her mind what he wants.
You did? Jeez. I thought you were pulling my leg. I'm sorry. I didn't think you were serious.
So, Princess, will I get that kiss now?
Kiss the frog. That's a good one. Actually putting my lips on a frog.
Well, I'm waiting.
Don't hold your breath. Not a chance. I wouldn't dream of kissing a frog.
Aren't you the most ungrateful person in the whole world?
No, I am not. But asking me to kiss a frog is just too much. I wouldn't be able to live with myself tomorrow.
But with my help, you'll live with yourself now.
That may be so. But if I kiss you, I won't be happy and I'll just be disgusted.
Oh, really? And what about the big speech you gave about how only shallow people who aren't really nice care about appearances? Have you changed your mind?
No, I really haven't. But that's a whole different thing.
Oh? How so?
I was talking relationships between people. You're a frog and frogs are disgusting.
That's blatant prejudice. I'm shocked. It always ends the same. I just can't seem to get one lousy break.
Don't feel like that, little frog.
Yeah, and why not? According to you, I'm disgusting.
Don't say it like that. I didn't mean anything personal.
Does that mean you're gonna kiss me?
No way. I wouldn't kiss you if you were the last frog on Earth.
One of the most unlikable persons you will ever watch. Throughout the movie, I never felt sorry for this bitch, for her stupid actions and all the horrible things she does, and act like a bitch. So, with other words, fuck this movie. Okay, next one is Clarififormers. And after watching these abominations, this one is going to kill me. God help me. Wow. He wasn't as bad as I thought he was gonna be. So, what's the story of this movie? Well, it's about robots who transform into cars and they fight each other to the death. And that's pretty much it. So, what are the good things about this movie? Well, first, the animation is a lot better in the previous ones. The backgrounds and the movements are definitely huge improvements from the previous movies. Next is the voice. In the previous movies, in this one, they definitely have some good cast in this who can put effort here. Another thing that I like is the soundtrack. I don't know the names of these songs, but they definitely choose the right ones to put in this movie. Lastly is the characters. I like where they give every single one of them a backstory to where they came from. And they are not bad guys for the sake to be bad guys. They are survivors who try to survive. Now for the bad. There are some plot holes in the story, and there are some things that they never explain, like
It's time for my lord to help me. Nothing that an agreement with the Supreme Bots won't settle.
An attack from behind is not tolerable.
yeah, like those things. A thing that kinda annoyed me is they go over dramatic for way too long.
While you ruled peacefully, what did you do to end in these tournaments?
Am I to blame? The Supreme Bots are responsible for all of this.
Why don't you try to negotiate your freedom passively with the Supreme Bots?
Are you crazy? They would never set me free.
It was you who said we were able to reconquer what was yours without using violence. Supreme Bots appreciate these violent fights. The more fierce, the better. But they know they need respectable, worth-betting fights.
What do you think this tournament is? An innocent game? The Supreme Bots won't accept a player giving up.
This is my help. I'm granting a temporary truce.
What do you think you're doing, Gladiformer? Fight. There is no truce in the arena.
I don't believe I'll say these words. Sorry, Godbots. Mighta Gorton, fight me now!
I won't return until I see you make an effort of peace.
This is so absurd, I don't know what to do. Supreme Bots, maybe there is some other way we can—
Shut up. Why would a mere Gladiformer think he would be able to control the arena?
We are not Gladiformers by nature.
Keep on like this, Prince. Go on.
Supreme Bots, we have been forced to fight.
Julius Drive, I admire you. I respect you as a great leader. Years ago, you were able to solve the impasse on our lands. You've asserted in a fair way the borders that could never be questioned by anyone. You gave my country the land that was rightfully ours. Although you have forgotten me, I don't blame you, and I don't consider you to be arrogant. That's why I deceived you. To save my people and keep them from having to become Gladiformers. I lied. We are worth fighting for.
Supreme Bots! It's a mistake forcing slaves to fight.
The next thing that kinda annoyed me is the editing. It was nonsensical and they're asking for a sequel. Next is the camera. It constantly changes angle from the different point of view of the vehicle, which it makes it unnecessary and cheesy to how it constantly moving from different angles to a character's vehicle mode. Just look some of this.
The bets are on!
Bets? What are they talking about?
I would say you've never been in a fighting arena.
This is a real arena? This isn't a simulation?
Of course not. Look around. Don't you catch the smell of death in the air?
Yeah, I did notice something different.
You won't be a match for me. Supreme Bots, I promise a quick and painless fight.
No, it won't go like that. I'm a much better fighter than you could ever imagine.
How many fights have you won, Project One?
I've won 15,876 fights.
Impressive number, but I want to know how many fights you won for real. Simulations are no good here in the real arena.
The betting will end in only a few more moments.
It's true. I've never won an actual fight. All my victories have been won through simulations. But that doesn't mean that I'm not a worthy opponent for any Gladiformer that wants to try.
And the last thing that kinda annoyed me the most is the sound effects. Please listen what sound effects they use in the fight scenes.
Foster greed, no matter what the reason or its nature.
I'll tear out all your power. Or if I need to, I'll even suck your vital energy and make it
He's really strong.
So overall, this was a very decent movie, even it has all of these problems. Not the best, and definitely not the worst. And I can call it a movie. So thanks for watching and... What? I have another one to review? But this was supposed to be a triple review, that I review only 3 movies for the price of 1. Fine, which one? Oh, come on! Really? Fine, let's have a look. The Little Panda Fighter. Why do I even try? They all know this movie is a piece of shit. They will try to tell a moral but they fail. The animation is horrible, the voice acting is shit, for the most part. The writing is horse shit. The story doesn't make any sense and is boring and stupid. The main character is a boring, useless moron. The supporting characters are not interesting, and they are doing nothing in the story for the most part. Nothing in this movie makes sense, and is overall a piece of shit. End of story. So thank you for watching, and I'm your Niko RPG, and I'm your service for anything you want. Now if you excuse me, I need to do something.
BKM! 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 We are the Martians, the bug ugly Martians. We are the Martians, the bug ugly Martians.
just wanna fill my girth.
We are the Martians, the fun ugly Martians. We are the Martians, the fun ugly Martians. If you try to go too far,
You will see how tough we are.
if you try it anyway, then you're gonna hear me say BKL!
Oh yeah.
BKL! 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 We are the Martians, the fun